Hello and welcome to Bookly Fun. Today we will be doing a multitude of things because if you guys haven't noticed, I may have been MIA. So we are going to be going through my January wrap-up, my February TBR, non-existent by the way, and my February wrap-up today. Well, and I guess also my March TBR. So let's just get into it. Obviously, I posted my January TBR and my kind of challenges and all of that. Technically last year, but it did apply to January. So, here's a refresher on the books I picked for my January TBR. First, we had Den Vipers by K.A. Knight, which I do not have the physical copy of right now because I am loaning it to a friend. May or may not be a downfall, who knows. Then I had Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Babbitt. This one is very short. I could time how long it takes me to read it, which you'll find out later that is exactly what I did for one of the books that I ended up reading this month. Then, January was supposed to be the start of me reading the Harry Potter series, like a book each month. So, my option for January was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone if you're British. Did not occur. I will just tell you that right now. Did not happen. Then we have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now, I had all hopes for doing this. I even, annotated it, I guess. Just so it would be more appeasing for me to read. Did not happen. Then we have The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Now this one, out of the 5 books on my January TBR, I actually got through with this one. So I'm just looking at my notes to the side on my computer so I remember the ratings that I gave all these books and all of that. So, The 7-Year Slip, I gave a 4-star. I listened to it via audiobook on Libby. And, I really liked it. The concept of the magical apartment and all of that was cool. I really liked that. And it was interesting to see that they had technically connected, because it takes place, 7 years in the past and 7 years forward, hence the 7-year slip. And the 7-year slip is caused by the apartment that the female main character's aunt owned before she died. So, but they her and the guy in this, Ewan, I want to say, I think that's what his name is. I don't know. Clementine and Ewan technically knew each other in the past, where Ewan is from. And I feel like that was kind of cool because you had 7 years to make up for any mistakes that you did. So this one I really liked. I did give it a 4-star. And yeah, that's that. So then on to other physical books I read this year, or not this year, in January. Let me backpedal. In January, the first one, or I guess the second one, whatever. The first in this pile, let's go with that, is Don't Sleep with the Dead by Nevo. Now, and you guys are honestly probably sick of hearing me say this, but this is the companion novella to Nevo's novel, The Chosen and the Beautiful. Now, to understand, well, I guess not to how am I trying to word this? You don't necessarily need to read The Chosen and the Beautiful to understand what's going on, because it's this Don't Sleep with the Dead it has what was incorporated in The Chosen and the Beautiful. It's still in the world of The Chosen and the Beautiful, but this can kind of be read as its own, but I feel like it'll be more enjoyable if you read The Chosen and the Beautiful before this. Now, I read this at the end of January. I gave it a 5 stars. Now, I listened to The Chosen and the Beautiful audiobook New Year's Eve, because I thought, oh, if I read The Chosen and the Beautiful New Year's Eve, then I can read Don't Sleep with the Dead New Year's Day, and bada bing, bada boom, I'm done with the series, technically. First day of the year. Did not pan over well. However, much like Tuck Everlasting, this has very minimal pages. There's 101 or something. And so I timed myself on how long it would take me to read this. Drum roll, please. I can't remember the exact amount of time that took me, but I want to say it was 5 hours to read this. So, 5 hours for 100 pages doesn't really seem like my 24-hour readathon that I have planned is gonna go so well. But I digress. I love Nevo's writing. I will probably check out some more of her books. And honestly, I may do a reread of this, but actually read The Chosen and the Beautiful with my eyes, and then jump into Don't Sleep with the Dead. And then my historical fiction for the month was All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. Chunky. That's all I'm gonna say. I listened to this via audiobook, and I would do a chapter, or I should say a chapter a day. So I would read the entirety of chapter 4 on one day, and blah blah blah. I don't know what the word for it is, but the headings of it themselves, short. Somewhat short. Some can veer on the long side, some can veer on the short side. If you like World War II history, I would say read this, because it does take place in Nazi in Nazi occupied France. So it does take place during World War II and all of that. Now, on to the non-physical books that I had, or you know what I mean. I read, so actually I do have a physical version of this. And I read some stories out of the Penguin Book of the Modern American Short Story. In January, I read 3. I read 3 of these. And I've read a majority of these before for my something fiction class that I took for college. A majority of these were a 3 or a 4-star. Some did lean on the 2-star range, but that is, yeah. The first short story that we have is The Lesson by Toni Cade Bambara. That one I gave a 2.5. Now, as you'll find out by the end of this video, I have read this one multiple times. I'm so on it, and I'm just not quite sure how to feel about it, kind of. The next book that I read, or not book, but story that I read, is A Conversation with My Father by Grace Paley. Now, I didn't get to read that story for my fiction class. However, I just decided for the fun of it that I would read it on my own, or more so listened to it. I may have to listen to it again. My rating may go higher. I don't know. But I gave it a 2-star. No. But it's not as bad as this next one, which is The Ones Who Walk Away from Omelas by Ursula Le Guin. K. Le Guin. Whatever her name is. That is a 1-star. Get it out of my face. Please. Get it out of my face. Now, I have very strong feelings about this one. For the most part, it was fine. It was tolerable. However, because Omelas, or whatever, is it's set in dystopia, so some people are kind of treated poorly, and it does go that way for one child, which Ursula Le Guin gives an entire paragraph dedicated to the state of that child, and that was just a no-go for me. So if you're sensitive to that kind of stuff, and or don't like dystopian whatever, steer clear from that one. However, the next book, it was a library book, so don't have it with me. But it was Run, Rose, Run by James Patterson. Now, this one I gave a 4.5. I am not that much of a James Patterson reader, but I did like how, I like the fastness of his chapters. And there is a soundtrack to the book by Dolly Parton. So I didn't listen to it as I was reading. But I will be listening to that kind of soon because there are songs in the book, and yeah. So that's it for January. In February, I didn't really have that much of a TBR going on because I couldn't decide. But obviously, because I thought I was gonna read Sorcerer's Stone in January, so then the next viable option would have been Chamber of Secrets. Obviously, didn't read Sorcerer's Stone in January, which means I didn't read Chamber of Secrets in February. However, I did have a boom when it came to my reads in February. So, let's start off with my rereads. So, I reread The Lesson, A Conversation with My Father, and Omelas in February. And then I added some more short stories to my catalog for that. So the first one that was unique to February for right now was Story by Lydia Davis. Can't tell you that much. All I know is that it's kind of like a crazy ex. Either a crazy girlfriend or a crazy ex-girlfriend. Can't really remember. But I gave it a 3-star. Now, you know how I said when we were going through my January reads that I gave these short stories between like 3 and 4 stars? Or like it was either 3 stars, 4 stars, and I kind of dabbled in the 2-star range for these? Yeah. Here's where that ball starts rolling. So I gave Story a 3-star. I do have an outlier with the Reencounter, which is kind of like a ghost story, I would say. And I listened to that on audio. Chef's Kiss, 5 stars. I really liked it. 5 stars all around. And then I read The Red Convertible, which is another. So The Red Convertible and Story were 2 of those that I read in class. The Reencounter I did not. The Red Convertible, I didn't understand it the first time around. However, I reread it. And to that, I gave it a 4.5. 4.5 stars. So, yeah, that was that. And then I read Taking Care by Joy Williams. 3-star. It was a 3-star. A lot of these are going to either be 3 or 4 stars. More will go in the 3-star camp, though. So, because I kind of just see 3 as, like, a baseline. It's kind of, like, neutral. Like, I didn't enjoy it. I did not enjoy it, you know. So, yeah. Girl by Jamaica Kincaid. Now, I really liked it. This was another one that I read for my fiction class, and I really liked it. 5-star? No. I did give this a 4-star. May bump that up to a 4.5 if I reread it. But I will say I kind of hold Girl by Jamaica Kincaid in a special place in my heart because I did read part of this out from my class as popcorn reading. So then I had Bicycles, Muscles, and Cigarettes by Raymond Carver. This one was another 4-star. Yeah, 4-star. I liked it. I did do an essay on this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull those up. But yeah, I did an essay on bicycles, muscles, and cigarettes. I liked it, but like with Girl, it was a 4-star. What did I just do? I don't know. Then I got into some Kindle reads with The Improbable Meet Cute Second Chances. So I first got a little ahead of myself there. I first read Accidentally Yours by Christina Lauren. Now, I have read Christina Lauren within these, like, collections on Kindle. And I really like them for the most part. They're quick. They're like hour and a half, 2-hour reads, audio-wise. And I do tend to go for audio if, like, I have that option within KU. So, it started off with actually, I gave Accidentally Yours a 5-star. I really like it. I really like Christina Lauren's writing. I think that's only an audio, though. I'm not quite sure. I haven't read one of their books in print yet, so I don't know. Then I read Time Will Tell by Hannah Bonham Yun. Hold on. Hannah Bonham Yun. There we go. That's the right person. This one was a time capsule one, and I really liked it. That was another 5-star for me. And that was actually my first Hannah Bonham Yun book that I read. So, yeah. Then I had Cold Sweat by Vera Valentine. And now, if you've read Vera Valentine before, you would know there's some sentient objects in her books. Like, that's kind of what she writes, is sentient. Yeah. So Cold Sweat was a Kool-Aid Man parody. Obviously her books are supposed to be taken with a light heart, right? However, I think I have grown out of my sentient phase, my sentient object romance phase, and I gave it a 2.75. Now, have I read weirder sentient objects? Yes. I think I would have given this a 1 star, but the ending is what saved it to being an almost 3-star. Oh, also, did I mention that they're step-siblings? Yeah. So, worst read of the month. Boo. I do have, maybe I might have taken it off my TBR. I don't think so, though. I have one more Vera Valentine book that is on my TBR. And, yeah. Anyway, then I moved on to Aragon, which is a book that the friend who I loaned Den Vipers to, was like pushing me to read. Pushing. So I finally did. That was a 4.5 stars for me. I liked the story. I will be continuing with the series. I just hate myself for how long it took me to get into it. I had to resort to an audiobook, which is what I do when I when I can't get into a book, I resort to audio. So yeah, that is what happened. And then I continued the Improbables Meet Cute with Death to Valentine's Day by Catherine Cowles. Now, this one I really don't understand. I may have to re-listen to them next year. But I gave that one 4 stars. It was alright for me. No indifference. And then Second Act Romance by Julie Soto was another 5-star for me. I really liked it. I liked the setup of it. And yeah, I mean, what can I say? I'm a romance girly. So then I did A Play for Love. Not gonna pronounce the author's name because I don't even think I know it. That one was a 4-star for me. Kind of like with Death to Valentine's Day. Didn't really get it. But it was more than a 3-star for me. Clearly. Ooh, another short story that I read that I forgot to include in the first batch was The Flowers by Alice Walker. It was alright. It was another 4-star. Yeah, I mean, that's all I'm gonna say on that. Then, I read, or more so listened to, Valentine's Slay by Nevessa Allen. Now, if you've read Nevessa Allen, such as the Into Darkness series, then, you know, she writes dark romance. And so it kind of gave Butcher and Blackbird, or whatever that book is called, because they're both serial killers, kind of like, yeah, that's all I can give you. So, how many series? Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that in the January segment. So, I started a series tracker last year. So, let's see how many series I made progress on. So, I completed, in January, I only completed 1 series. And that was, where is it? Gotta do the full pat down. Oh yeah, it's here. The Chosen and the Beautiful. This is the only series that I completed in January. Now, going on to February, I started 1 series and completed 1 series. So my series progress on that is 2. Now, and I know you're probably sick of hearing me talk, but we have one more segment, and that is my March TBR. But Sarah, it's really late into March. Yeah, so what? My March TBR, so I initially had Kindle challenges, or not Kindle, but Goodreads challenges that I was going to be doing. So my TBR for the month was really the challenges I had, challenges that I had not yet completed. There we go. So, remember in the January segment, that I had a book on my TBR that I didn't get to. Yeah. It was redemption time for The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Now, still didn't get to this. Actually, maybe I might be able to. Nah, probably not. So she'll be up for a second redemption. It may also get to the point where I may just have to nip it in the bud and wait for the Libby hold on this, if there is one, because it's kind of embarrassing how long it's been on my TBR. And whenever I try to get to read this, I just can't. So yeah, I may just have to go on Libby, and yeah. And also, technically this would have been a 6-book TBR if I went through with it, because March is the 3rd month. That means it's the 3rd book in the Harry Potter series. Obviously, I didn't get to it. Man, I'm currently, not as I'm filming, obviously, but I'm currently reading Sorcerer's Stone. So, yeah. Then another book would have been Mother-Daughter Murder Night by Nina Simone. Nina Simon. Sorry. Nina Simon. And yeah, I got this for Christmas, so typically not my usual time that lapses until I read a book, but this was for a challenge. I said screw it to the challenge, so yeah. And then, so that's it for the physical books. I then had August Lane by Regina Black. Obviously I said screw the challenge, so this TBR is no longer relevant. Oh, wait, hold on. Another technically physical book that I have, but it's right there, and I don't feel like getting up to get it. So thankfully I have it in my Kindle. I have Caught Up by Nevessa Allen. Now this would make serious progress, because if I finish this before Game On, which is the 3rd book in this series, releases, then yeah, I can be up to date on a series. However, by the time of my March wrap up, Game On will already have been released, and yeah. Anyway, my next, or the last book on my March TBR, which is no longer coming to fruition, is Stoneblind by Natalie Hayes. And this is a Medusa retelling. And I mean, I'm all hyped for it. Like, I just need to get on I need to find a way to get on my Kindle, because it is on KU. And, yeah, I mean, I've been talking for 34 minutes, so I can yap about books. And also, if this is just popping up on your feed and you like to yap about books, subscribe, comment down below whatever you think should be on my April TBR, or what updates you liked, or whatever. And just don't forget to like the video and be a good person. So with that being said, this has been Bookly Fun, or known in the book community as Urban Legend, and I will see you next time.